All right, welcome to today's stock market update. It's Friday, April 8th, and there's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about, will the S&P see another winning day and finish the week higher, and what will it take for the S&P to end the week higher? Crude oil is on a 3-day losing streak. What's moving the markets now? Is Warren Buffett a sociopathic grandpa from Omaha? What we traded yesterday and much more. Today is Friday, April 8th, and if this is your first time, my name is Markus, and I'm head coach at Rockwell Trading. On a typical morning, Markus joins me, and with watchful eyes and almost 50 years of trading experience, we sift through a mountain of news websites, newsletters, and reports, and then we take the most important news and go live every day right here to share with you what you need to know as you head into your trading day. And I know many of you that watch our stock market updates every day have been here before, but if this is your first time here, I know it can be a little overwhelming, and don't worry, we have a special video just for you that I will link in the description, and it's a great place to get started with the strategies we use and many of the concepts that we will discuss during these stock market updates. So anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and go to the charts here. And I have the S&P 500 up. And I just wanted to double check one thing. Okay, wonderful. There we go. So we have the S&P 500 up. Yesterday, the S&P and the major indices did manage to finish higher. Let's actually go to a 5-minute chart here and see what this looked like during the trading day, because we opened just a little bit lower. We drifted lower, and it looked like maybe we were going to see another down day. But in the afternoon, we saw a rally that took us to session highs. We finished near session highs for the day. So a lot of this move coming in the afternoon, and the S&P was able to close above its 200-day moving average, so that's a positive sign. The Dow is also higher. The S&P finished higher by 0.4%. The Dow up 0.25%, 87 points. The Dow still trading below its 200-day moving average, but a similar situation, actually making a little bit of a lower move here, opening lower, drifting down, making session lows mid-morning, and then just a kind of a sideways quiet move during lunch, and then a rally in the afternoon to bring the Dow positive. Now the Nasdaq finished in positive territory, but just barely here. The Nasdaq drifting lower during the session, also seeing an afternoon rally. Still below its 200-day moving average, but closing above its 50-day moving average, even though it was testing that yesterday and dipping below. So yesterday, markets higher. For the week, we're still down for the week. Here we see that the S&P is down 1% for the week. So the S&P needs to see a rally today of 1% plus, gaining 46 points. Is it possible? Maybe. We'll talk more about where futures are pointing a little bit later here, but the S&P needs to make up about 1% in order to finish the week positive. The Dow doesn't have to make up as much ground, needs to get back about 235 points or 0.7%. So the Dow not as bad for the week, but still in negative territory. The Nasdaq is hardest hit for the week right now, so going into Friday's trading session, the Nasdaq is down 364 points or 2.6%. So the Nasdaq definitely needs to make up more ground in order to finish the week positive. Within decent distance and a possibility there for the Dow to finish positive for the week. We'll have to see. The S&P again needs about 1%, but the Nasdaq really needs to make a move to finish the week positive. So we'll see what today's trading session does bring. And while we take a look at a few things here, it's important to discuss what's moving the market, right? What's moving the market this week and today, and what to expect next week. Well, right now, as we've talked about all week long, it's still about the Fed and also Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So any changes there could definitely move the market. That's what traders are focused on. Inflation and the Fed being the big topic this week. And this is where there could be wild cards. Every now and then you'll have an interview with a Fed member and something else comes out. I don't expect anything significant today, but it's definitely what traders are focusing on. The other wild card here is the Russia Ukraine situation. And so if there's any positive or negative developments, significant developments, that could also move the market right now. But next week things change. Next week we have earnings season kicking off with JP Morgan, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo reporting earnings on Thursday before the bell. So the focus will shift towards earnings and how companies are handling rising costs and whether or not there are still supply chain concerns and even labor concerns. Not that there aren't jobs out there, but just companies having a hard time filling some jobs. And so that will be the focus with earnings season kicking off next week, or at least an added element to the markets, in addition to inflation in the Fed and Russia, in whether or not there are changes there in Ukraine. So let's look at a few movers here, and let's first take a look at Spirit Airlines. Save. So yesterday, Spirit Airlines, let me go back to a daily chart here. There we go. Actually, 2 days ago, Spirit Airlines made a big move higher. Yesterday, up just a little bit. Let me go back to auto. That looks a little bit odd. So Spirit said it will begin talks with JetBlue about its rival's $3.6 billion takeover bid. Spirit had agreed earlier this year to be taken over by Frontier Airlines Group. We could take a look at this one. ULCC, Frontier Airlines Group. So Frontier Airlines Group was down a little bit. Well, actually down a little bit 2 days ago, up a little bit yesterday. Frontier Airlines Group being the initial company that was looking to buy Spirit, but then JetBlue offered a really nice offer there. So we'll see what happens with these airline wars or takeover offers. And I bring this up for two reasons. One, it's what's going on in the markets right now with the airlines, but could there be other airlines that are prime for a possible takeover bid, right? Or a merger? We'll have to see. It hasn't happened really for a while. I mean, the last real big one was Alaska purchasing Virgin from Richard Branson. And even then, it sounded like Richard Branson wasn't really interested in selling the airline, but he received an offer that he just couldn't refuse. And we'll see if, as we get into the year, if there are more mergers and acquisitions that are taking place that are bigger, some consolidation there, especially ahead of a higher interest rate environment before rates really start to affect loans, which we're already seeing happening. Let's also take another look at a mover here. Let's look at Hood. So Hood down pre-market, down 5.6%. Now my charts are starting to look a little bit better here. We're seeing a 5.6% move lower pre-market. This is due to a Goldman Sachs downgrade to sell from neutral. So the rating that Goldman Sachs had on Robinhood was neutral, now sell. Goldman believes consensus estimates for Robinhood are too high, and it sees a high bar for the company to achieve profitability in 2023. So Goldman being one of the bigger players there in the financial markets, and with their analyst ratings at holding a little more weight, and down 5.6% pre-market. So there's an important topic that really got brought up yesterday, and I want to share it all, or share it with you all right now. And that is Warren Buffett a sociopathic grandpa from Omaha? I guess at a Bitcoin conference Thursday, billionaire venture capitalist Peter Thiel was cut from Buffett's Christmas gift list, saying Warren Buffett tops an enemy's list of people who are trying to stop the cryptocurrency. So Thiel seems to think that Bitcoin's problems are all about Warren Buffett, and he said that he's enemy number one, and the sociopathic grandpa from Omaha is causing Bitcoin's problems. Now, is he? Yeah, I think that there are other factors other than just Warren Buffett that is preventing Bitcoin from 10xing or 100xing like Peter Thiel would like to see at this point. I do have some respect for what Warren Buffett has done. And I would argue that if Warren Buffett is really a sociopathic grandpa from Omaha, I think he'd be spending his $125 billion in other ways. Like maybe bringing back Hometown Buffet, naming it Buffett's Buffett, and putting one next to every Walmart in America with a dessert section that just focuses on Coca-Cola and ice cream, Warren Buffett's favorites, and maybe offering a discount there for anybody that comes in with slippers and odd multi-colored sweaters. I think that would be a sociopathic grandpa from Omaha, someone who'd spend their billions doing that. So anyway, I saw that and got a kick out of it. Hope you did as well. I want to bring up what we traded yesterday. And let's go to BX, Blackstone. So Blackstone, actually let me go to PowerX Optimizer here. And I'm going to bring up BX this way, because we have our chart looks a little nicer, and we have this support level in PowerX Optimizer. And with this, we see that there's some really nice support here with Blackstone. And so with the wheel, we're looking to trade stocks that are sideways or slightly higher, that have nice ranges and have nice support levels, where at the strike that we're looking to trade, there's a potential for buyers to step in, support that level, prevent the stock from really tumbling and falling. And so Blackstone met the criteria that we are looking for. And with the recent pullback here, there was a nice opportunity. We sold the 109 strike for Blackstone. And this one we were able to collect, I think it was 42% annualized on the premium that we received there. So Blackstone was one that both Markus and I traded yesterday, and that one's working out nicely. Another one that we traded recently but actually popped up yesterday in the scanner was Macy's, and I'll bring up Macy's here. So Macy's, another nice chart here for wheel candidates, and Macy's was one just like with Blackstone that we traded with our mastermind group. We actually traded the 2250 strike a little bit earlier this week. Yesterday on the scanner, the 2150 strike came up. So any of you that have PowerX Optimizer and you're looking at the scanner, I thought that Macy's was a good one, and 2150 even a better strike. With yesterday's numbers, there was the ability to get 19 cents most likely, and the expiration was for next week. This brought in 40% annualized based on the return on that premium and next week's April 14th expiration. Friday next week is a market holiday for Good Friday. That's why you're not seeing the April 15th expirations, because typically options expire on Fridays, and with this being the 8th, next Friday is the 15th, but that's why we see the April 14th expiration. So I thought those were two really nice ones that popped up yesterday. We were already in Macy's, and we picked up Blackstone as well. So going back to the markets to see where futures are at And futures were a little bit higher earlier, but now it looks like we're starting the session mixed. The E-mini S&P down 5%, 5%, down 5 points, 0.1%. Dow just flat here, only up 12 points. So Dow slightly positive, but nothing to get excited about. NASDAQ a little bit lower, down 0.4%. So E-mini S&P, mini Dow just really not doing a whole lot, and the NASDAQ slightly lower to start the trading session. So that's going to do it for today's stock market update. I hope you enjoyed this session. And no, I don't think that Warren Buffett is a sociopathic grandpa from Omaha, just for full disclosure there. If you like these videos, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back here with